Okay, this is the third video segment on knowledge. What we're going to be discussing today is how to parameterize a single solid model. Okay, so let me first make a very simple problem, make a box. So, see now I already have a part here. Remember, we're discussing a part now. So on a convenient plane, on this say vertical plane, sketch a box or a rectangle. Here's a rectangle. All right, and let me also draw a circle inside of it. And dimension these. So dimension this side, that side, and the circle. By the way, let me make sure that this center is exactly in the middle, just to make things easier. So left, right, center. You left control, right control the center. We make it equidistant, and the top control bottom and control center, and once again make it equidistant. All right, this is not a major issue, so but I did make it. Exit, and then we pad it. Let me make it padded by 2 inches, just for the heck of it. All right, the next thing I want to do is to create 4 parameters. These parameters represent W, the width, the height, H, the width or the padded length, which is L, and the radius. Remember, I am not talking about renaming dimension. I'm creating about something called parameters. So, well, first of all, let me make sure that I have a rough idea what these sizes are. So this was the R was roughly 0.6, or the radius was 0.6. This is about 2.6 and 4.8. I just want to have a rough idea what these things are. Okay. So now we go to f of x, and notice down here there is something that says new parameters of type. Okay, right now it says real, so I'm going to change this thing to length, and the reason is that the 3 parameters that I would like to or the 4 parameters that I would like to define, W, H, L, and R, are all of type length. So I click on it, new parameter, give it a name, and that first name is going to be W. And W was the width of this piece, which was about maybe 7 inches. I'm not sure, but you have some nominal values. And then a new parameter. This time I'm going to call it H, and H is going to be this height. So I'm going to be saying it's approximately 3. Apply. A new parameter. We'll call it L. This is the padded length. So I made a 2, well, why don't we keep it as 2, okay? And then a new parameter, which is going to be R, and the radius was around 0.6, so I'll make it 0.5. 0.5. Apply. And say OK. Now, one more time, click on f of x, and if you, I close the window, and then I said f of x again. If I rename parameter, notice that it shows me the 4 parameters of type length which I created. Right now, these are just variables. These are just parameters. They have nothing to do with my model. And we say, OK. Now, I like these parameters to show up in my tree. The way to display it in the tree, so make sure you write this down or somehow know it, learn it. Tools, options. Okay, and under infrastructure, here's the infrastructure. Here is part infrastructure. select the display tab and check these 4 boxes. Actually, we don't need the constraint, but I tell people to check all of them. It's easier to see. So parameters to be checked, relations. Relation means formulas and things of that type if we ever have it, and then the constraint. I don't think we have to worry about constraint. And say, okay, notice that these parameters show up in the tree. Okay? All right. Right now, if I double click on W, all it says it's 7. It has nothing to do, it has no relationship to my part. Okay, so let's do it. Let's click on f of x. All right. And click on the part. All of my dimensions show up. So what I would like to do, I will select this dimension. See that? This dimension. And I want to say this is equal to W. So add a formula. Right here is add a formula. Equal to, well, I can select W from here. Or I could have selected rename parameter. And next time I'm going to do it like that. Okay? And say, okay. Now notice that this is going to be equal to W, and whatever W is going to look like that. If I say, by the way, apply, notice that it changed size, okay? And it became 7. Now, even if it doesn't look like 7, it is 7. But you'll see that right there. You can see that actually it is 7. All right, good. There. Now, let me select this height. From the screen, I select this height. I say add a formula. Equal to, so the equal to is already there. Don't try to type equal to. The equal to is already there. Now equal to h. Now I can select h from the tree right there, or even if I said rename parameter here, they appear, so it tells me what it is. If you want to take this h and put it up there, just double click on it and it puts it up there. And say OK. And then apply. And then if you, right, see, it's equal to whatever the value of h was. Now select R from the screen. Let me see. There, add a formula. This dimension equal to, well, how about selecting it from the tree? It's easier. Double click on it. It's equal to R. And finally, the padded length right there. Add the formula. So this is equal to L. And we say OK. And apply. And OK. See, now all we need to do is to go to the tree directly, double click on that, and change the value, for example, anything that we want. Maybe we want it to be 10. And you say OK, notice it's changed. L was the padded length, so make it 1. You see? R, make it smaller, 0.1. L we already did. How about H? H make it 3. See, we did not rename parameter. What we did, we renamed dimension. What we did, we created the parameters and set these dimensions equal to the parameters. By the way, we can also, I don't have any, we have these are the formulas that we created. See that? For example, the dimension that we selected from the screen is equal to W. The dimension that we selected from the screen is equal to H. Okay? Very useful. I'll do another problem in a minute. So let me stop this thing and I'll do one where, for example, we can define a parameter of type, let's say, angle, or something like that.